Hello again to Reality Recap News Update, where we summarize the most dramatic twists from your beloved shows. I hope you're all in good health by the grace of God. In case you haven't, please hit that subscribe button and tap that bell icon so that you never miss an update. Now, let's dive into today's incendiary headline from the Sister Wives universe. Events have taken a surprising turn in the courtroom. Robyn Brown is making news for not obeying a judge's directive. Yes, you read that correctly. The court has decreed that Robyn should relinquish property that belongs to Janelle and Mary. Although Kody Brown has accepted the judgment, Robyn is digging in her heels in resistance. The repercussions? If she does not comply, she might even end up being jailed. But that's not the only drama swirling around the Brown family. Hold on tight, because what we're about to discuss has completely flipped the fan reaction to Kody Brown. In a twist that no one could have predicted, the audience is now sympathizing with Kody, a phenomenon in the Sister Wives community. The change is a product of a very personal and heartbreaking incident: the passing of his son, Garrison. It was a turning point for many when they watched the funeral and everything that unfolded after it. People who used to judge Kody brutally are now seeing a man heartbroken, grappling both with grief and with decisions he made years ago. But why are the fans mellowing out toward Kody now? It comes down to a gut-wrenching emotional moment from last week's episode. Kody was seen digging his son Garrison's grave with his own two hands. It wasn't symbolic, it was heartbreaking. He wasn't really by himself. His brother Scott and Scott's brother-in-law Tim were present to be there for him. Still, the moment felt lonely. Supporters noted that missing from the crowd were Garrison's brothers, Hunter, Logan, Gabriel, and Padon. These were the brothers with whom Garrison was most close. They had not only a bond of blood, but one of friendship as well. Which leaves one to ask, why weren't they there? Most fans feel that had Kody asked, they would not have refused him. This moment upset everyone online, with people judging Kody not only for who was there, but for who wasn't. It created the image of a father sitting by himself in his grief, far from the very people who should have been closest to him at such a critical moment. But the emotional punch to the gut wasn't done. Throughout the episode, Kody kept using the term pilgrimage to refer to digging the grave himself. Fans caught wind, and not positively. The word traditionally means a holy spiritual journey, such as going to see the Vatican or a holy temple. Fans felt Kody was using too much effort to make this act a way of redemption, perhaps to assuage his own conscience for a strained relationship with Garrison prior to his passing. Adding to the confusion, Kody also kept bringing up the term nurture, insinuating that Scott and Tim played a large part in nurturing Garrison into a man. But their own remarks appeared to suggest they hadn't spent much time around Garrison in recent years. In actuality, it sounded more like they had been nurturing Kody through his loss, not Garrison while he was alive. As the burial came to an end, Kody thanked Scott and Tim for their assistance, but stated that he really didn't need assistance. This was something he needed to do on his own. His pilgrimage, as he referred to it once more. The emotional complexity of this episode has elicited strong responses from the fan base. Some interpret Kody as a man attempting, perhaps too belatedly, to make amends with his past. Others recognize his actions as an attempt to rewrite history. So, what do you think? Is Kody a mourning father looking for redemption, or is he acting for the cameras? And will Robyn be held accountable for going against the court? There's a lot to untangle, and we'll be bringing you every turn and twist. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next installment of the Sister Wives drama. Until then, stay well, and thanks for watching Reality Recap News Update. As if sadness wasn't already piling up on Kody Brown, what happened at the cemetery provided yet another layer of psychological intrigue. and inspired even more outcry from Sister Wives viewers. As family and friends attended Garrison's memorial service, Kody stood by himself, his son's urn tucked in his arms. The isolation was stark. While the others hugged, reminisced, and supported one another, Kody stood on the periphery, unseen, not acknowledged. This image did not escape observers. Viewers of the episode couldn't help but feel a great, unexpected sympathy pang. For once, Kody wasn't hogging all the attention, and he didn't seem to be even wanted. But before the audience could feel sympathy for him, another scene changed everything. In a moment that divided fans, Kody and Robyn excused themselves from the party to have their photo taken of Garrison's urn. As others mourned as a group, the two seemed to have what some fans described as an odd photo shoot. Snap after snap, from all possible positions, standing, kneeling, squatting. It appeared to many to be something better reserved for a red carpet than a funeral. Audiences were quick to identify it as tone-deaf, cringeworthy, and even disrespectful. What Kody intended as a gesture of love appeared to many as a senseless and awkward spectacle. Just when you didn't think it could get any more sensational, another aspect of the service had fans abuzz. One of the few to speak at the memorial, Tim preached wearing a floral shirt and shorts, far from what viewers were expecting for this serious occasion. Although the family laughed it off, fans on social media weren't so forgiving. What really got fans upset, however, was what Tim preached about. He urged those present to cherish their loved ones now, before it's too late. The subtext? Many believed it was aimed squarely at Kody. Given his well-documented estrangement from Garrison, the words hit like a quiet accusation, and Kody felt it. He eventually confessed on the show that things between himself and Janelle were not okay. But he also admitted that Janelle had kindly permitted him to execute his plans for burying Garrison. Still, his inaction, or lack thereof, spoke loudly. One of the saddest moments was where Janelle was kneeling with the urn, and viewers observed something disturbing. Kody did not give her his hand. That silence, that distance, hurt so much to audiences. But most symbolic of all may have been the nonverbal message sent not through speech or deed, but through where individuals sat. Kody's own mom was sitting with Janelle, notably avoiding Kody and Robyn. For dedicated viewers, it was a quiet but telling indicator, one strand in an intricate carpet of emotional disconnection being pulled apart on television. But through the cringe, one scene pierced deeper than any other. Kody described a dream he had involving Garrison. In the dream, his son had appeared, telling him that he was okay and in a good place. Kody obviously found comfort in this dream, but the fans were divided. Some viewed it as a last-ditch effort at reconciling after the fact, a means for Kody to feel forgiven without actually deserving it from his surviving family. Others were just sad, seeing a man grasp for meaning the only way he could. But the drama didn't stop at the cemetery. Following the funeral, the family had a celebration of life at Kody's deceased father's ranch. Everyone attended, that is, except Robyn and Kody. Their absence sparked questions. Were they not invited? Did they decline to attend? Or were they flat out left out of the tape? Fans wondered, and none of the explanations sat well. Kody, however, recounted through the scenes, speaking of making new memories with those close to him. But his words were an empty chant, contrasted with his physical absence. Following the death of Garrison, both Kody and Janelle opened up about their loss publicly. In March 2024, the former pair released a devastating joint statement. Janelle and I are heartbroken to share with you the passing of our handsome boy, Robert Garrison Brown, Kody posted on Instagram. He was such a bright light in the lives of everyone who knew him. Our loss will be so big in our lives that it takes our breath away. We respectfully ask that you please leave us alone and help us celebrate his memory. The loss occurred just under 2 years since Kody and Janelle formally separated. They had 6 children together, one of the most vocal and fan-favorite children being Garrison. Janelle has kept her grief battle open on social media since his death, while Kody's grieving has mostly happened on Sister Wives Season 19. And as the season progresses, viewers are left struggling with their own conflicted emotions about family, grief, and what redemption truly means. So what's next for the Brown family? Will wounds remain open? Are healing still an option? Be sure to tune in. The narrative isn't finished yet. The weeks following Garrison Brown's passing have been a heartbreaking journey of grief, remembrance, and fragile healing, especially for his mother, Janelle. In March 2024, Janelle took to Instagram, sharing touching snapshots from Garrison's celebration of life. Her words were raw and real. "The outpouring of love and support these last 3 weeks has been overwhelming," she wrote. "I'm honored and grateful." But as the days went by, birthdays and milestones without Garrison were painful reminders of what was lost. In April, on what would have been his 26th birthday, Janelle shared a tribute that touched the hearts of fans around the world. "Happy birthday, sweetheart," she captioned. "We are missing you terribly today. It's hard to believe you're not here anymore." She explained that the family visited Garrison's favorite restaurant, Texas Roadhouse, in honor of him. They discussed him, laughed through the tears, and gave him the most sincere tribute. "I still feel you around," she continued, "and I'm thankful we'll meet again when my time is done." As the month of May arrived, another challenge emerged: Janelle's first Mother's Day without her son. She called the experience especially poignant. A mundane task, making a pie, became one of introspection. Strawberry picking and a serendipitous discovery of rhubarb at the farmer's market left me thinking that this pie was meant to be, she posted. It was Garrison's favorite. No one loved it more than he did. That made the pie bittersweet. "I love you, honey, and miss you every single day." As the year went on, Janelle remained open about her grieving process and how she's managing. Speaking at the U.S. Weekly plus Pluto TV Reality Stars of the Year party in October 2024, she had this to say: "Every day is a day. You take it one moment at a time." She emphasized the significance of looking after mental health, particularly men's, and pledged to celebrate Garrison's legacy by action and memory. But with time, the hurt didn't subside. On the anniversary of Garrison's passing in March 2025, a year after his death, Janelle shared a somber post. "I keep myself busy, but in each moment of silence, you are always foremost in my mind. It's been 1 year, baby. I miss you so much." As Janelle carried her sorrow publicly and courageously, Sister Wives found the family's shared sadness in a May 2025 episode. That's when Kody Brown, the father of Garrison, opened up about his honest reaction to losing his child. "Grief comes in waves," he confessed on the May 4th episode. "It just wasn't supposed to be this way." His voice trembled as he spoke out his greatest regret. "I didn't have the opportunity to set things right. I figured there'd be more time." Everyone always thinks there's going to be more time. The emotional burden was evident. Kody cried in front of Robyn, one of his other wives, overcome with the burden of the future. "How do I do this?" he wept. "How do I get through every holiday, every birthday, without him?" What came afterward was a chilling account of Garrison's last night. Janelle explained that she had spoken to her son all day. When his answers ceased at 8 p.m., she became suspicious and requested his brothers to go check on him. I went to bed thinking he'd just passed out, like he had on other nights, she said. The next morning, she woke up to a call from her son, Gabriel. Garrison was gone. Janelle eventually confided in her sister Carrie about the underlying issues Garrison had been dealing with. He struggled with depression and anxiety, she said, and when the pandemic hit, he started drinking to try to deal with it. But it spun out of control. It became something he couldn't handle. She took a pause, then spoke words no parent ever wants to speak. We did everything we could. I know that. Even in her sadness, Janelle took solace, remembering the sweet, caring person her son had been, particularly around the younger children in the family. She explained how Garrison always found time for his little siblings, including Truly, Christine's daughter, and Solomon and Ariella, Robyn's children. He'd go see them every day, she said, during the May 11th episode. He was always so engaged. He loved his baby siblings so much. At the same time, Kody longed intensely to bury Garrison's remains in Wyoming, their homeland. It's like a pilgrimage, he explained. To this day, Kody struggles with sorrow that strikes out of the blue. Sometimes it just comes over me out of nowhere, he confided, like an anxiety attack. And so, the Brown family presses on, each of them bearing their own manifestation of grief, guilt, and memory. What remains clear is this: Garrison's presence, though gone from this world, echoes through every moment, every memory, and every heartbeat of the ones he left. As Sister Wives Season 19 continues to unfold, the emotional weight of Garrison Brown's passing hasn't lessened. For Kody Brown, the grief has become a deeply personal, physical process, one he chose to face head-on. In a May 2025 episode, Kody opened up through tears. It's just this deep, overwhelming feeling that I'll never see him again. There's so much left unsaid, so much left undone. To get closure, Kody made up his mind. He would bury Garrison next to his grandparents in Wyoming. It's my way of finishing the circle, he explained. He choked up, continuing, I was the first one who held him. I rocked him to sleep. He's my son. This is part of my mourning process. What happened next surprised many, however. Kody requested that the sexton at the cemetery allow him to dig Garrison's grave himself. I don't know why, he admitted, but it means something to me. And so, in a remote Old West-style cemetery in Wyoming, Kody picked up a shovel and began to dig. This is one of the most important things I've ever done, he said. It's my last ode to my boy, my duty, my job. While Kody was struggling with the weight of fatherhood and loss, another form of reckoning was occurring elsewhere in the family. In a Sister Wives one-on-one special, which aired May 25th, 2025, Mary Brown faced her own narrative, one forged from years of unrealized expectation and emotional abandonment. Host Sukanya Krishnan revealed that Kody once said he wished all his wives could have reached the divine love he felt with Robyn. Mary's reaction was sharp and unapologetic. We're all supposed to be Robyn? She scoffed. I'm sorry, I'm Mary. I'm not going to be Robyn. The 54-year-old wasn't done. I'm my own individual person, she said. I don't want to be her. In retrospect, Mary could see why her long-married relationship didn't succeed. He didn't accept me for who I was, not for the last 12 or 14 years. Maybe more. Janelle Brown, who left Kody in 2021, parroted Mary's irritation in her own solo. That's revisionist history, she said flatly, responding to Kody's assertions. He never discussed this divine love thing with me. Would have been nice if he had. For both Janelle and Mary, Kody's reimagining of the past was a betrayal. Christine, his third wife, had already exited in 2022. With his marriages broken, Kody now confesses he's no longer interested in plural marriage. "It's difficult not to feel bitter," he told Robyn in a previous episode. "I invested in this lifestyle, but ultimately, I just felt horrible." He added that he couldn't imagine going after another wife. "I don't want that headache, the questions, the trust issues, the struggle." But despite Kody's retreat from his marriage to Mary wasn't abrupt. It was, as she came to realize, a gradual unraveling behind a facade of false reassurances. "He said to me, 'When we're in Flagstaff, it'll be a fresh start.'" Mary remembered when the show premiered in September 2024. "He made me think things were going to change. But this has been happening for years." Her greatest complaint? The lack of communication. "He never told me what he actually wanted or didn't want. He just gave up trying." And while Kody acknowledged that his cues might have been confusing, his explanation hurt. "As I began to attempt to work through things, I thought, why would I do this? I wouldn't court her now." That level of rejection is deep, but for Mary, freedom came through clarity. In February of 2023, she finally made the decision to leave. And her friends? "They were thrilled," she said. "They told me, 'It's about damn time.'" With the blinders removed, Mary now thinks Kody had been distancing himself from her for years, hoping she'd be the one to walk away, so he wouldn't have to be the bad guy. "If I leave, he's not the bad guy," she said, "because he didn't walk away." And so, while the family is confronting an unthinkable loss, each of them is also struggling with what has already perished among them: trust, partnership, and the dream of unity. Garrison's death can have ripped open new wounds, but for some, it's also bringing to light long-buried truths. With the purchase of a large 14-acre tract in Flagstaff, Arizona, the Brown family one day envisioned a shared future, separate houses grouped around a common vision of plural family and love. But today, that dream remains like the vacant land itself, unused, unresolved, and, to some, forever lost. During the Sister Wives Season 19 premiere, Kody Brown acknowledged the reality aloud. He was willing to let it go. "I'd almost rather scrap it, or sell it and just start again somewhere else," he confessed to Robyn Brown, the only remaining wife still by his side. But for Robyn, even the idea of moving on from Coyote Pass was too painful. "I can't talk about that," she replied, shaken. "That is so not where I'm at." Coyote Pass had represented something greater than property. It was to be the future of their plural family, a legacy. Instead, it became a monument to what broke them up. Second wife Janelle Brown, who had held out for the move for years and even lived on the land in an RV for a period, had come to her own breaking point. "We just sort of grew apart," she revealed to E!, news during a rare moment of tranquility. But leaving wasn't about drifting. It was about seeing her kids drift away from Kody's life and watching him let them. "The big spark for me was when his relationship disintegrated with my children," she clarified, "and he didn't sound like he would move heaven and earth to make it right." For Janelle, mother of Logan, Madison, Hunter, Garrison, Gabriel, and Savannah, that was the ultimate disappointment. She hung on for the kids as long as she could, but when Kody refused to fight for them, she knew the vision of Coyote Pass wasn't worth the price of seeing her family fracture even more. And so, what once was a tale of faith, family, and common purpose has unraveled into something more human, painful, messy, and real. The Brown family is at a crossroads now, grieving a son, dealing with long-held truths, and staring into futures they never anticipated. Coyote Pass stands, 14 acres of possibility or regret. But perhaps, just perhaps, out of all that's been lost, something can still be constructed anew.